Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. Thanks, as always, for joining us. We have a really big show for you tonight. Trump's running mate, JD Vance, is here. But first, hide and go freak. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Well, here we are, the end of summer, at least in the political sense. And as the angle predicted, the state of the race shows us that Kamala Harris's post-BNC bump amounted to kind of a dead cat bounce. In other words, nothing. In fact, if anything, Donald Trump is now the candidate who has the momentum edge. Nate Silver, the polling analyst slash guru, has done an extensive analysis. And as of today, he has Trump with a 56.7% chance of winning the presidency versus Harris with a 43% chance. Now, that's almost a 14 percentage point drop since his August 14th odds. Now, as far as the all-important swing states, those odds are also in Trump's favor, according to Silver. Again, his trend analysis has Harris up only in the battlegrounds of Wisconsin and in Michigan. Silver has Trump with a far better chance at taking Pennsylvania. I guess they're not buying that fracking walkback of Harris's. And Nevada and Arizona and Georgia. By the way, I love that Governor Kemp is putting the party first there. Big event, I think, with Trump coming up in the state of Georgia. And Trump's chances of winning North Carolina, check this out. It's up at a whopping 69.9%, according to Silver. And that's not all. If this continues, by the way, get ready for the Never Trump heads to blow off the shoulders all across the country, because 4 out of the 6 big betting markets, that's people putting real money on this race, are now favoring Trump to win as well. Gamblers were apparently unmoved by Harris's performance during her CNN interview last week, which did little to impress her naysayers and even earn criticism from Democrat voters. Well, her campaign staff has made, or tried to make, a concerted decision for her to generally steer clear of the economy, keep things kind of soft. And by doing so, they really hope that they can win over enough women voters by selling Kamala not so much as a tough commander-in-chief, but more of a spunky lifestyle influencer.
I slice up my garlic, but no, first I chop up the bacon and get all that fat going. Then I do vinegar, and then I cheat and do a little Tabasco.
Well, watching that, all I could think was Presidents Putin and Xi, oh my God, they must be terrified. Now, the woman is terrified of unscripted moments that involve real policy. That's obvious at this point. And by the way, you know the tactic that sometimes like junior high or high school girls use when they want to avoid talking to a former boyfriend as he approaches, maybe in the parking lot? Yeah, you pick up the phone and you just pretend that you're talking to someone else and hope that he just keeps walking on. Well, Kamala's doing that too. She has a corded phone. She's picking it up. She's razzed online for that baby. All right, well, it turns out America is just not as dumb as Democrats had hoped. All you need are eyes and ears to sense that any momentum Harris may have had, it was just entirely media generated. It was long on social media hype and brat vibes, but just short on substance. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot how serious a guy Tim Walz is. Why did they ever think that this would work? How arrogant to think that they could carry out a coup against their own incumbent, only to choose a candidate that they're obviously just embarrassed by. In fact, I've been covering, what is this, like my 8th presidential election? I cannot remember any political campaign that had a lower opinion of its own candidate than Harris's. Well, okay, I'm not counting Joe Biden post-debate. Now, everything about this woman, and I mean everything, comes across as phony. It comes across also as plotted out by overpaid consultants somewhere. And their job, remember, their job it is to round the clock make you forget how much you didn't like Kamala ever since she first presented her sanctimonious self at the Kavanaugh hearings.
Do you agree that it is possible for men to both be friends with some women and treat other women badly?
She had to read most of those questions. Yeah, I forced myself to go back and watch that. Of course it was all scripted, because she cannot be trusted to think or speak for herself. Total phony. Now, honestly, when I first dubbed her Comma Chameleon back on July 26th, I did not anticipate that she'd really go full Hillary on the fake accents. Who knew Kamala was raised with a Tennessee twang?
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Weird accent for a Detroit crowd and a gal who grew up in, what, Oakland? Maybe someone told her how dumb she sounded, because later the same day she changed her accent.
Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
Well, with that verbal range, I really think she's missing her calling. She really should consider a career in maybe, I don't know, cartoon voiceover work or regional theater. I'm sure Summer Stock somewhere would love to have her talent. So leave the governance to someone who doesn't spend her days either cackling through recipe descriptions or ducking reporters' questions. But this incompetence is getting harder to spin. As a senator, then a VP, the woman's been on the national political scene since 2017. But the old Obama crew is downplaying her weaknesses, they're just typical for a political newcomer.
The fact is, vice presidents are known, but they're not known. She's done a very good job in the first phase of filling in information about herself, and she's made up a lot of ground, but this is a neck-and-neck race.
She's made up a lot of ground. We've known her since 2017, David, come on. I mean, I feel bad for him. What else is he gonna say? But as we enter the fall push, and it's going to be a push, it looks like a neck-and-neck race for the White House. Now, I realize a lot of you came up to me over the weekend. I was up in New England. You're stunned that given Harris's nightmarish record, it could be this tight at all. How could it possibly be? Yet, the Democrats have a nominee, do not forget, who they don't trust to make a single unscripted statement, while the Republicans, they're led by a man, and both members of the ticket, who's already ended the political careers of Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and who has the most loyal and fervent fan base in American politics, and that's Donald Trump. And of course, on the key issues, the economy, inflation, immigration, President Trump has a clear advantage. Of course, the Democrats have the media, and of course, they have a lot of money. And there are still drop boxes you're going to worry about and last-minute court cases. We'll get into that. But they don't have a candidate who can actually do the job. And we know the chaos that such a situation created with Biden. So for pulling this hide the candidate routine again, it should cost Democrats dearly in November. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.